cold coming we had of it. Just the worst time of the year for a journey, and such a long journey. The ways deep and the weather sharp, the very dead of winter. And the camels, they galled, sore-footed, refractory, lying down in the melting snow. There were times we did regret the summer palaces on slopes and the terraces, and the silken girls bringing sherbet, and then the camel man cursing and grumbling and running away, and wanting their liquor and women, and the night fires going out, and the lack of shelters, and the cities hostile and the towns unfriendly, and the villages dirty and charging high prices. A hard time we had of it. At the end we preferred to travel all night, sleeping in snatches with the voices singing in our ears, saying that this was all folly. Then at dawn we came to a temperate valley, wet below the snow line, smelling of vegetation, with a running stream and watermill beating the darkness, and 3 trees on the low sky. An old white horse galloped away in the meadow. Then we came upon a tavern with wine leaves over the lintel, 6 hands at an open door dicing for pieces of silver, and feet kicking the empty wineskins. But there was no information, so we continued, and arrived at evening not a moment too soon, finding the place. It was, as you like it, satisfactory. All this was a long, long time ago, I remember, and I would do it again, but set down, this, were we led all that way, for birth or death. There was a birth, certainly. We had evidence and no doubt. I had seen birth and death, but had thought they were different. This birth was hard and bitter agony for us, like death, our death. We returned to our places, these kingdoms, but no longer at ease here. In the old dispensation with an alien people clutching their gods, I should be glad of another death. I am tired of speaking these constant stories. I am your humble narrator, and yet I feel hollow. I feel distant, and I do not feel as if I am here, clutching the pages of this book. When fishes flew, and forests walked, and figs grew upon thorn, some moment when the moon was blood, then surely I was born. With monstrous head and sickening cry, and ears like errant wings, the devil's walking parody on all 4-footed things, the tattered outlaw of the earth, of ancient crooked will, starve, scourge, deride me. I am dumb, and yet I keep my secret still. Fools, for I also had my hour, one far fierce hour, and sweet. There was a shout about my ears, and palms before my feet. G.K. Chesterton. Let me return this humble book back to the forgotten attic. No one cares anymore. So, children, how'd you like your Christmas carol? Good, I hope. Have you been good boys, or have you misbehaved with your mother? Good, that's good to hear. I shall enlighten you with one of mine, one story that hath came to me once in a dream, but I forget what dream it came from again. There exists a doorway between realms, one that is melodic and beautiful and glorious and all those beautiful things that you, bright-eyed, want. There exists a door between that which is holy and that which is, to your eyes, unholy. But that doorway is laden with roses, tulips, poppies, and all beautiful flowers. But that doorway is also stalked. In the dark hours of the night, it is visited by the very people, by the very myths, by the very legends, and ghouls, and ghosts, and wicked. It is stalked by the wicked, but it is used also by the good, by the just, by the orderly, by all that is rightful. It is used by dissonance and resonance themselves, the very entropic force of the universe. Forces, forgive me. But that doorway, one that leads to evil, and to evil it leads to good. That doorway is lodged between the mountains of heaven and hell, between all the realms that coincide, each stacked one on top of the other, one on top of the other, side by side, some that exist at the same time, but not quite. Some realms exist purely in our minds, but that door leads to them as well. That door is guarded very, very, very faintly by one of the legendary old guard, the last people of the glorious city. It is guarded. I apologize, children. I think I might have dozed off there in my cozy cozy couch. Well, run along, please. I am getting quite dizzy. Your mothers have probably prepared a fine Christmas feast. Please, excuse your grandfather. Perhaps it is time. It is time to let go, I believe. The legendary tales of my youth, may they be as easily forgotten as my own mind, as it slips away from my fingers. Maurice, Beau, Andrea, Julie, all the names I could count off my fingers. My stories serve not much purpose, but they serve one purpose indeed. For what are stories, if not the lifeblood of reality itself? It is the levity of information, the garnish on top of the pie that is life. When our lives have met an end, and it comes time to pay the curtain caller as the curtains fall upon your act, what good will it do you to stay a couple more seconds longer, adorned with all the stage baubles, bells, and whistles as the band plays you out? I wish I could see the door again. Maurice, I wish... No, you cannot hear me, old friend. But I wish I could see the door again. To meet my fate. It is a wonder to have a second